Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. If you could please rise and join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Griscoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Butler.
Here.
Councilmember Novak.
Here.
Councilmember Geisler.
Here.
Councilmember Armstrong.
Here.
Councilmember Carlson. Mayor Cook.
Here.
One absent, Carlson.
All right, thank you. All right, why don't we adopt this evening's agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Geisler and a second by Butler to adopt the agenda. Any changes or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Item number 1 is our 2026 Snowflake Days button winners and proclamation. Looks like we've got a crew back there from Snowflake Days. Why don't you come on up? And do you want me to read any of this, or are you gonna? You're gonna cover this. You're gonna cover this, I'll bet. Oh. I didn't know if you wanted me to read any of these things that are in my notes, or maybe I'll wait and see what you've got to say.
Well, all right. I'm Tiffany Fick. I'm the Vice President of Snowflake Days. We're very excited to be here to pronounce the week of Snowflake Days and kick it off with our 2026 Snowflake Days marquee, who I will start with. So we have Bill Kicker. I'll read his bio for you so you can get to know him a little bit better. Bill grew up in Coon Rapids. His childhood home was off of 109th Lane and Foley Boulevard. He graduated from Coon Rapids High School in 1983. Bill met his wife Kim in 1990 and was married in 1994. 1 year later, they purchased their first home in Coon Rapids, and they raised their 2 children who both graduated from Coon Rapids High School. Bill has been volunteering in his community for many years. He was the president of the Adams Elementary School PAC, Parent Advisory Council, for those that don't know what PAC is, coached Little League and soccer, chaired the CRHS Senior All-Night Party and Committee, president and member of the Nordic Ski Booster Club, and a member of the Coon Rapids Youth Hockey Association. He also left out that he's on the Coon Rapids Tree Lighting Committee as well. Very important role. A highlight for Bill was his election to the Coon Rapids City Council, representing the residents of Ward 2. Currently, Bill is an at-large member of the Coon Rapids Community Strength Foundation and a member of the Coon Rapids Charter Commission. He is also a member of Faith Lutheran Church and a founding member of the Coon Rapids Guitar Club. Also a very important role, I hear. Bill retired from his job with CVS Aetna of 35 years this fall, and he and his wife will spend more time enjoying their 2 granddaughters, traveling and walking, running and biking on the many trails throughout the great city of Coon Rapids. So I'd like to introduce to you Bill Kicker.
Hi, Bill.
Thank you. I would just like to thank the committee for choosing me. It's an honor to be a part of this. I was born in 1965. The first Snowflake Days was in 1964. So I've been around almost as long as Snowflake Days. But it's going to be the 62nd annual Snowflake Days. There's a lot of great events. I plan on being at all of them, so I hope to see you all out there. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, Bill. That Snowflake Days has not been around that long then, if it's as old as you, correct? No, that was a joke. All right, well, you're a young, yes, he's a youngster, basically is what I'm saying. So we will get started. We started this tradition during, I believe it was in the past, but we did bring it back during the 60th anniversary of Snowflake Days, and we've kept it going because of the great turnout of button designs that have come in. So I'd love to start with the debut of our 2026 Coon Rapids Snowflake Days button. We have buttons, I should say. We have 2 winners. We have a first place and a second place. We also have our citywide button, which you'll see in a bit. But I'd love to bring to the front, first place, Abigail Holman, who's a 10th grader at Coon Rapids High School. Can you guys go to the center? can see on the screen, Abigail's button is shown. So if you're purchasing a Coon Rapids Snowflake Days button, these are one of 3 designs that you can purchase. So thank you, Abigail.
All right.
Our second place button, I don't believe she's here. She had a school commitment. Our second place is Madison Schultz. She's in 6th grade with AMSA, which is Homeschool Northdale. She had a school commitment tonight, so that her button is also on the screen. It's Rocky at the tree lighting ceremony, I'm sure. So, like I said, very important event. But Abigail was actually an honorable mention winner last year, so it's great that she got second. So we can move on.
Tiffany, should I do the Snowflake Days proclamation before you move on to the Royal Ambassadors?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Would that be next?
Let
Okay.
me ask my boss. Is that right? Okay, yeah.
All right. Proclamation, Coon Rapids Snowflake Days 62nd Annual Celebration. Whereas the 2026 Snowflake Days celebration marks the 62nd anniversary of the Coon Rapids Snowflake Days celebration, and whereas Coon Rapids Snowflake Days began in 1964 as a JC project conceived of the notion that the city of Coon Rapids needed a civic celebration the entire community could participate in, and whereas the 2026 Coon Rapids Snowflake Days celebration marquee is lifelong community member Bill Kicker, and whereas the 2026 Snowflake Days celebration includes numerous events over 1 week and 2 weekends for all individuals, including a medallion hunt, Coon Rapids Royal Ambassador crowning, Guns N' Hoses hockey game, snow sculpture contest, Mayor's Cup simulator golf tournament, winter fun at Sand Creek event featuring the kids medallion hunt and kids cookies and canvas, chili challenge, senior snowflake party, community waffle breakfast, and family fun day at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. And whereas Snowflake Days will start with qualifiers for the Mayor's Simulator Golf Tournament at Bunker Hills Golf Club on Wednesday, January 28th, and the first main events kick off Friday, January 30th with the Community Medallion Hunt. And whereas Snowflake Days will culminate on Sunday, February 8th with Family Fun Day held at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. And whereas many volunteers, businesses, and community organizations have dedicated their time and talents to create this exciting winter celebration for the benefit of all citizens of Coon Rapids. Now, therefore, I, Jerry Cook, Mayor of the City of Coon Rapids, on behalf of the Coon Rapids City Council, hereby proclaim January 30th through February 8th, 2026 to be Coon Rapids Snowflake Days' 62nd anniversary. Be it further proclaimed that all citizens are encouraged to participate in this community celebration and enjoy the numerous activities and events proclaimed this 20th day of January, 2026. Okay, there's that one.
Thank you. Okay. All right, so one thing I did forget to mention is buttons will go on sale on Friday, this Friday at noon. You can purchase a button at City Hall, right here at City Hall. Chanticleer Pizza Grill on Northdale Boulevard, and High 10 Service Center right on the corner of Coon Rapids Boulevard. So I'm going to just briefly touch on on all of the Snowflake Days events. You can find additional information, what ticket prices are, how to sign up for things on the Snowflake Days website, as well as the city website and both Facebook pages. So we kick off with the Community Medallion Hunt, which starts on Friday, January 30th. This is a $500 cash prize. A new clue will be posted daily at 8 a.m. on the Coon Rapids Snowflake Days website. You must have a 2026 Coon Rapids Snowflake Days button to participate. This is a big deal. People take off work to hunt for this medallion. So as our winner said last year, he took off a few vacation days. I believe he made his wife take off a couple days. So it's a very fun event. Definitely sign up if you enjoy being on the hunt for a $500 cash prize. Next up, we have the Mayor's Cup Golf Tournament. This actually starts on Wednesday, January 28th and runs through the 30th, which is qualifiers. Finals for that are on January 31st. This is through Bunker Hills Golf Club. You can take part in the annual simulator golf tournament. For more information and registration, please call the number listed on the screen, or you can visit Bunker. This is a great event. We love to partner with them. Next up, which we actually can do after a 2-year hiatus, is the snow sculpture contest. So some great prizes for this. First place gets you $200, second place gets you $150, and third place gets you $100. You must register by Friday, January 30th. Hopefully people already have in mind their designs. Snow sculptures must be created in the front yard by February 2nd. Judging will take place on February 3rd, and cash prizes will be awarded at the end of Snowflake Days. A map will be available for where you can see those snow sculptures will be available on February 4th for viewing. You can sign up on the Coon Rapids Snowflake Days website. Like I said, coonrapidssnowflakedays.com. Next, we have the Royal Ambassador Coronation. We're very excited to have this event part of Snowflake as well. These young ladies are great stewards of the city. They volunteer hundreds and hundreds of hours at multiple events, so we love having them part of our celebration. That is on Saturday, January 31st at 1 p.m. at Coon Rapids Civic Center. Tickets are $10 for age 4 and under are free. Come and witness the crowning of our new 2026 ambassadors, and you'll meet our 2025 ambassadors in just a few minutes. Next, we have our CRPD versus CRFD hockey game with the Minnesota Blue Ox taking place at Crick. It's Sunday, February 1st from 12 to 3. This is very exciting because we partner with the Minnesota Blue Ox whose home is at Crick. So they bring an added element to the game. The fire department currently has the coveted cup, so PD is coming back hoping to get that trophy back, but I think fire really enjoys it on their little trophy case. So it's gonna be a good battle. It's a great game for the kids. We have a lot of different giveaways. The Blue Ox sign autographs, they take photos. We have Chuck-a-Puck. The little mites are playing between one of the periods, the little girls, so it'll be great. If you're available, come on out for that. Adults are $10, kids are $5. Like I said, lots of games, prizes. Next, we have the Snow Sculpture Tour, like I talked about. You can start viewing those on Wednesday, February 4th, when the winners are announced as well. And this is a self-guided tour. Maps and contest winners are announced on the Coon Rapids website. That's coonrapidsmn.gov. Next up is the Chili Challenge, one of the community's favorite events. This is on Thursday, February 5th, 5:30 to 7. Tickets are 13 plus are 10, 6 to 12 are 5, and 5 and under are free. You can taste all of the entries and vote for your favorite chili. We have a lot of civic organizations there. The proceeds benefit the Coon Rapids Community Strength Foundation. I know somebody in this room currently has the Big Chili Challenge trophy, being the winner last year. Mr. Mayor, do you have any idea who that is?
Yeah, maybe. Technically, it's the Coon Rapids Rotary Club is the reigning champion.
Who cooked that chili?
Yeah,
Recipe.
So Coon Rapids Rotary hoping to take home that trophy again, but I love this event because it is a true battle between organizations for who can bring home that trophy. We have a judge's choice as well. That's a judging panel blind taste test. So I think Fire still holds that trophy a few years in a row. So. Next up, we have a senior snowflake party. This is an event I believe we added on the 60th anniversary, and it is a sold-out event. You, I believe, must be a senior. Is that correct? Yes, okay. So you must be a senior to attend this,
it's
unfortunately.
a pretty loose definition, though. It's like 55 and over or something.
Well, I don't make those rules. It's just senior. So whatever you want to classify that age as. That is on Friday, February 6th at 10:30. The doors open. Like I said, this is a sold-out event. I love seeing the seniors participate in this. I believe they have live music. They have a meal. It's really great. So lunch and entertainment are provided. Tickets are $20. You can call the number on the screen for more info and to register. This is next up is Winter Fun at Sand Creek. This is a fantastic event for the kids, for families. All of these events are family friendly for Snowflake Days, but this really caters to the younger kids that might not get to participate in some other events. So Winter Fun at Sand Creek is on Saturday, February 7th from 11 to 1. We have a kids medallion hunt. So the Coon Rapids Fire Department Community Fund donates two $200 gift cards for a bike, and that goes to one boy and one girl. So we have a medallion hunt for each group. The kids, they are through the snow. They are looking for that medallion. I think they do a little better than even the adults. So we also have at this event, this is a completely free event. We just ask you to go on the Snowflake Days website and register just so that we can get an RSVP number. we have cookies and canvas, games and crafts, and outdoor skating as well. So the kids can come. Like I said, it's completely free, just RSVP. The kids get a canvas, they get paint, cookies. Rocky will be there. We have games. So if you're available on Saturday, February 7th from 11 to 1, like I said, this is the best event for the kids, I think. To top off Snowflake Days, we have the Coon Rapids Snowflake Days Waffle Breakfast and Bake Sale. This is our last event of Snowflake Days. It's on Sunday, February 8th from 8 a.m. to noon at the Coon Rapids Civic Center. This is a free will donation event. All of the proceeds go back to the Coon Rapids Community Strength Foundation to pay for things like 4th of July, different activities. Obviously, events from Coon Rapids Community Strength Foundation are free to the community, so that donations from events like these help to keep those events free. So breakfast will include waffles, sausage, juice, and coffee. It is hosted by the Coon Rapids North Star Lions and also features the Super Senior Club Bake Sale. So if you don't come for anything else, come for the Super Senior Bake Sale because they have some really great goodies.
No, they really should come for the waffles. The North Star Lions have like this secret recipe for their waffles, and they're really good.
I'm on the Coon Rapids North Star Lions, and I eat a lot of those waffles, so I think, yes, but like Jerry said, please come, or Mr. Mayor said, please come for the waffles, come for the Senior Bake Sale. It's a really great event. That's where the medallion winner will be announced, as well as the snow sculpture contest as well. So those are all of the events for Snowflake Days. Like I said, you can find the additional information on the Snowflake Days website, the city website, as well as both the city and the Snowflake Days Facebook page as well.
It almost looks like Family Fun Day is actually the wrap-up of Snowflake Days, right? That 5 to 7:30, or 5 to 6 outdoor skating and games, and 6 to 7:30 free public skate indoors.
I did not have a card for this, so yes, Family Fun Day at the Crick does
Sorry.
wrap up Snowflake Days. That is Sunday, February 8th from 5 to 7:30 at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Like, also a fantastic event for the family. It is Super Bowl evening, so if you don't watch football or you're not into the Super Bowl, this is a great alternative to go with the family to skate and play games. So I thank you for reminding me of that event.
Nice recovery.
Yeah,
perfect.
so that is officially the last event of Snowflake Days.
All right. Were you going to bring up the Royal Ambassadors? Or
Yes, we can do that next. So
was that next one? I don't, whatever the plan is, you just let me know.
yeah, that's you're on the plan. So
Okay.
next, I'd like to introduce our 2025 Coon Rapids Royal Ambassadors. They're going to come up, and Mayor Cook has a proclamation for them as well. This is their last event as Royal Ambassadors. They can come up now. This is their last event. They give up their titles next Saturday. They have participated in just about every single event the city has had to offer. They have done well over 150 community service hours. Everything they do is volunteer. They are participating, they also participate in multiple parades. I believe they did 12 this year in other communities, as well as 10 other royalty events as well. So they've really done a great job representing the city of Coon Rapids. I, back in the day, was also an ambassador, so very, very long time ago. And the program really has done a great job representing Coon Rapids and the people in the community that we have. So thank you very much for your service.
I should have moved at that end. I hate to tell you what to do right away, but you know. Welcome. All right, I have a Coon Rapids 2025 Royal Ambassadors of Goodwill Proclamation. Whereas the Coon Rapids Snowflake Association has conducted its annual winter celebration in our community for more than 60 years and provided entertainment, amusement, and recreation for our citizens, and at the same time promoted our city throughout the state of Minnesota. And whereas the Coon Rapids Snowflake Association revived the Royal Ambassador Program of Coon Rapids competition in 1991, and whereas contestants compete to become members of the royal family and act as ambassadors for the city of Coon Rapids at parades, community events, and volunteer socials for a one-year period, and are required to perform a minimum 30 hours of community service within our own community during their reign. And whereas the Royal Ambassador's philosophy is for the children and their families to have fun while fulfilling their community obligations. And whereas, through a competition of poise and personality, the following Royal Ambassadors were selected for 2025 and are completing their successful year of service. Teen Ambassador is Afton Miller, and Teen Ambassador is Kendall Eichman. And you can correct me on pronunciation when I give you the mic. How's that? Now, therefore, I, Jerry Cook, Mayor of the City of Coon Rapids, on behalf of the Coon Rapids City Council, hereby designate the Coon Rapids Junior Royalty to be Coon Rapids Ambassadors of Goodwill. Be it further proclaimed that the Royal Ambassador Program shall go forth within our community and neighboring communities throughout the state to represent the citizens of Coon Rapids, spreading goodwill and friendship, and participating in community celebrations, pageants, parades, and other civic activities and public events. Proclaim this 20th day of January 2026. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Tell us how your year's been.
Hi, everyone. My name is Afton Miller, and I'm your 2025 Coon Rapids Teen Royal Ambassador. This year has definitely been a journey, and it's been absolutely lovely. I would love to do this again and again if I could, personally. And I'd like to say, I think my favorite event definitely was the Chili Challenge.
Hi, my name is Kendall Eichman. I'm your 2025 Coon Rapids Petite Ambassador. This year has been one of the greatest years of my life. Getting to know the city of Coon Rapids and all the other Royal Ambassadors has been so fun to me. And one of my favorite events was probably the Chili Challenge.
Awesome.
I did not tell them to say that. I just want you to know.
No, that's awesome. This is such a developing year for, my guess is if we would have stood here 1 year ago, you wouldn't have been quite so polished. After a year of introducing yourself at all of those 30 events and those parades, it just becomes natural. And the other thing I love is a camera comes out and they go, smile, and these kids in the Royal Ambassador Program go, they just light it up. It just becomes so natural. So thank you for your service to the community. And I'm not sure who will I give this proclamation to. Them? Okay. And Afton, you're going to the St. Paul Carnival, I hear now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes, this weekend I got the honor to go to Queen's Weekend for the St. Paul Winter Carnival, which is an event where ambassadors from all around the state and other states come to stay in a hotel with random girls from different ambassador groups. And you spend the weekend doing events for the St. Paul Winter Carnival, and that's this weekend, so I'm very excited for it.
Congratulations, all the best to you, and whatever you do from here on out. And they'll let you know when you can't compete anymore, because I'm sure you're eligible again, aren't they, or at some point?
Afton is aged out. So.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, there's the next step. then.
Aged out as in she is now graduated high school. So
Okay.
not that she's old.
Okay, thanks again so much. All right. Next on our agenda, not quite as fun, approving the minutes from the January 6th, 2026 meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from the January 6th, 2026 meeting.
Second.
Motion by Butler and a second by Geisler. Is there any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain?
And those minutes are approved. One abstention, Councilman Novak. We have 6 items on our consent agenda this evening. The first one is to approve a therapeutic massage enterprise license for Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, 12580 Riverdale Boulevard, Northwest 103. Edward Orsler of Wisebell LLC has submitted an application for a therapeutic massage enterprise license. The background investigation and license fees have been paid. Proof of the required liability insurance has also been provided, and approval is contingent upon the police department background investigation findings and the issuance of a certificate of occupancy by the building inspection department. So we're looking to approve the issuance of a therapeutic massage enterprise license to Wise Bell LLC, doing business as Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa, located at 12580 Riverdale Boulevard Northwest, Suite 103, pending a successful background investigation and the issuance of a certificate of occupancy by the Building Inspection Department. Next on our consent agenda is to approve final payment to Ebert Construction for Project 25-10, Fire Station 2 driveway and parking lot replacement. We're looking to approve a change order and final payment to Ebert Construction in the amount of $12,158.98 for Project 25-10, Fire Station Number 2 driveway and parking lot replacement. Next on our agenda, consent, is to accept a quitclaim deed and bill of sale from the Met Council. In 1965, a document was recorded which provided the condemnation of lands for sanitary sewer and water main purposes to the city of Coon Rapids. And in 1971, an agreement between the Metropolitan Sewer Board, now the Met Council, and the city of Coon Rapids was executed to assume ownership of and transfer existing interceptors to the Met Council as required under a 1969, boy, we're really inside baseball here.
Yeah.
Let's just skip to, we're looking to approve the execution of 5 quitclaim deeds and a bill of sale with the Metropolitan Council. Next on our consent agenda is to authorize an agreement with West Publishing Corporation and adopt Resolution 26-25 approving a budget amendment. We have 4 items of shifting money from, to other financing sources and capital outlay, to appropriating money to debt service for the first year subscription payment, to appropriating $61,000 to both other financing sources and capital outlay. Again, financial inside baseball here. We're looking to authorize execution of agreement with West Publishing Company and authorize the city manager to execute any additional documents to complete the agreement, and approve Resolution 26-25, amending the 2026 general fund for West Publishing Company software. We have 2 items left on our consent agenda. The next one is to receive the schedule of electronic payments. This happens every city council meeting. We're looking to receive the schedule of electronic payments that were made from December 31st, 2025 through January 14th, 2026. And the final item on our consent agenda is to adopt Resolution 26-27, approving a joint powers agreement with access to BCA Bureau of Criminal Apprehension data. The police department and the city attorney's office currently use the BCA e-charging process to charge criminal complaints, and the state of Minnesota and the city had previously entered into 2 agreements, an amendment to the Criminal Justice Network subscriber agreement and joint powers agreement. Tonight, we're looking to adopt Resolution 26-27, approving the state of Minnesota's joint powers agreement for CJDN access and approving the court data services subscriber amendment, and authorize the mayor and city manager to execute the BCA joint powers agreement and amendment to the CJDN subscriber agreement. And that is the end of our consent agenda.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Novak?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Novak and a second by Butler. Is there any discussion or questions on the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Griscoviac?
could I just get clarification on agenda item number 6? It's the agreement with West Publishing and then resolution 2625 to amend our budget. Didn't we already have this in our 2026 budget? Is this more just the appropriations that are outlined here? Can you explain that, clarify?
Start with that. We do that. Thought maybe Ashley was here. It is, we did budget for it this year. What makes this one different is it's now a 5-year contract with West, which gets us above the threshold for costs, so we need council approval. And then with the new accounting rules, we have to do the second part, the capitalization of those things. So that just is spreading it, it's talking about the next 5 years of that. So it's not all this year that we're paying for it, but the way we account for it has to be done this year. So that's at least my understanding of the accounting piece.
Okay, and more because of the accounting rules for subscription-based services?
Correct.
This is, okay.
It's changed, and now we used to have like 1 or 2 year agreements with West, and now they've moved into 5 years, which then triggers these and the new accounting rules, so.
Okay.
Triggered by that.
Well, that makes sense. That's what I thought, but I wanted to clarify.
This
Thanks.
is the first time that you've seen this contract.
Yep.
All right. Is there any other questions or discussion on the consent agenda? We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. We are up to item 9, is to consider resolution number 26-2, sub 8, approving plans and specifications and ordering an ad for bids for full depth reclamation, and mill and overlay project 26-2. And I believe this is the one that Mr. Hanson laid out for us. This one you already laid out for us, isn't it? Or are we getting another show?
No, this one hasn't been in front of the council yet.
Okay.
But this is our annual full depth reclamation mill and overlay project. So there's various different streets that are proposed for full depth reclamation. And then mill and overlay, we have about 1.2 miles for FDR or full depth reclamation and a half mile proposed for mill and overlay. Basically, what we are doing is grinding off the 2 inches of asphalt that exists on these streets today and replacing it with an equal amount, or we are milling off 2 inches and replacing with 2 inches. There's no curb and gutter, drainage repairs, or any other utility work proposed as part of the project. So as such, and according to our special assessment policy, there are no special assessments proposed with the work. The payment or the funds for the work will come from our state aid maintenance account. The work is proposed to be done between May and June of this year, and we will send notices out to the affected businesses and property owners prior to the work starting.
So the full depth reclamation, also there's no assessments on that either then?
That's correct, because we're not thickening the asphalt as we do with a reconstruction project.
Okay.
We're just
All right.
putting back a layer of 2 inches of asphalt.
Very good.
Your Honor.
Councilmember Novak?
Mr. Hanson, thank you for making that clear. I've received several phone calls and emails regarding, okay, fine, how much is my assessment going to be this time? And so, yeah, no, I thought that was the way that worked. Now I can reassure them for sure.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Yeah, Mr. Hanson.
Several of these streets have already been reconstructed within our program between the late 90s and the early 2000s,
Okay.
and were assessed at that time.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Geisler?
Mr. Hanson, I noticed timing is looking at, May to June with the Crooked Lake stint that kind of heads down towards Mississippi there. Are we trying to coordinate any of that with the bus traffic? There's a lot of buses that go down that road. And trying to maybe think about waiting until school releases just a little bit later, just that they're not driving through the construction zone, what we're doing there, or having to drive around.
Yeah, we can talk to the contractor about that. We did direct River Drive in the area a couple of years ago. There were no issues with any of the school buses.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and the section that Councilmember Geisler was talking about is Crooked Lake Boulevard between Hollywood Boulevard down in Riverview and Coon Rapids Boulevard Service Drive, right by the Arby's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, any questions of Mr. Hanson on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Butler?
I move that council adopt resolution number 26-2, sub 8, accepting plans and specifications for project 26-2, the 2026 full depth reclamation and mill and overlay project, and authorize the solicitation of bids.
Second.
Motion by Butler and a second by Geisler. Is there further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Item 10 is to consider the 2026-2027 police officer labor agreement and adopt resolution 26-28, approving the labor agreement. Ms. Roth, did you want to hit the highlights of this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, council. The council is requested to formally ratify the terms of the negotiated labor agreement between the City of Coon Rapids and Law Enforcement Labor Services, Local 207, representing the Police Officers Unit. Through the negotiation process and based on market comparables, the city and the union came to the following summary of terms. A 2-year contract effective January 1, 2026 to December 31st, 2027. The elimination of step 1 of that pay band, making the current step 2 now step 1. For 2026, a 3% COLA increase and a 1% market adjustment. And for 2027, a 3% COLA and a market adjustment of 0.5%. Also, for Article 28, which outlines our longevity pay practices, the service years recognition, it was adjusted as follows. So after 8 years is what it currently is. For continuous service, that will be changed to 6 years of continuous service, and at that time we'll recognize years of service, and the longevity increase of 5% will be applied. Currently, we recognize after 12 years of service, that'll be changed to 10 years of service, and that is currently 7.5, and that will remain the same. After 16 years of continuous service, that will be changed to recognition at 14 years of continuous service, and that is 10%, which is current, so the only thing that has changed there is the years of service. We have an adjustment to the uniform allowance for both contract years, just $25 per year for both of those years. So staff recommends that the City Council approve this resolution, authorizing the mayor and the city manager to execute the labor agreement between the city and the Police Officers Union. At this time, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
All right, very good. Any questions of Ms. Roth on this?
Your Honor?
Councilmember Novak?
No questions. I just want to thank staff for getting this done and getting it done properly. And obviously, I want to thank our police officers. They're some of the best in the business. They do a really hard job, and they do it well.
It is a pleasure to serve them.
All right.
With that, I'll move to approve Resolution 26-28, authorizing the mayor and city manager to execute labor agreement between city and police officers union.
Second.
Motion by Novak. I'm going to give that one to Armstrong. It was right in there. Further discussion on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Geisler?
I had asked staff about this, so I'm going to lead the question through here. But just roughly speaking, what does this come out to in empirical dollars for next year?
Councilmember Geisler, yeah, Mayor and Council. So if you look at it purely from a 2025 budget year to what's included in the new 2026 first year of this agreement, it's about $746,000 total in terms of the net effect of the change. It doesn't include necessarily everything. That's a good estimate based on current staffing and the number of employees and their tenure. There'd be a number of things that could change throughout the year, but that's a pretty good guess. And then a little more than that in 2027, sort of the roll up there. So as we're looking at the contract, obviously the option isn't $0 or $746,000. It's something in between, depending on where the parties end up on a COLA and a market change. But if you're looking at it purely starting at scratch and going into what's the net effect of the 2-year contract in terms of the changes, it's in that $1.5 million range.
Thank you. I just, with all the stacking and the complexity of the percentages, all that, I think it's good to just turn it into concrete dollars, even though it's, a lot of it is, I think this is well earned and makes a lot of good sense. And, we would prefer to stay competitive than not. So I like to abstract it in a little different way for what we're talking about, but appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. We have a motion and we have a second. Is there further discussion on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Griscoviac?
I actually had the same questions as Councilmember Geisler, and I came to staff with it earlier, and then actually spent some time right before this meeting kind of diving into it a little bit deeper, just because, you know, police and public safety are such a big part of our budget, that something like this is going to affect budget and levy and things like that. But what I came across from all that was that what we're doing is basically pushing through about a, you know, an inflation-adjusted COLA increase. But then that step is what really makes the difference here to make us competitive with our peer cities. We've been seeing cities around us in this metro area that are kind of plucking away some of our top talent. We want to have the best police officers as possible in our community. So after looking through all that and having the meeting I had before this, I came away with a pretty good understanding that this is a very well thought out labor agreement with police, and I support it.
Thank you for taking the extra time, and thank you for all of your work on this. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. We are now at the open mic public comment portion of the meeting. Open mic provides an opportunity for the public to address the city council on subjects that are not part of the regular meeting agenda. The public is invited to express any concerns they may have which are relevant to the affairs, policies, or practices of the city of Coon Rapids. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes. Should you wish to participate in open mic, please approach the podium and state your name and address before addressing the council. All remarks will be made from the podium and addressed to the council as a whole. Open mic is not a time for problem solving or reacting to the comments made, but for hearing the speaker for informational purposes only. Questions from council will be for clarification only, and if necessary, a staff report will be prepared for the next regular council meeting with a copy forwarded to the speaker. So with that, we are opening public mic, or open mic. And whoever would like to speak, come on up and give us your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Dr. Kamal. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. God bless all. And good evening, Mayor Cook and all respected city council members. As I said, my name is Dr. Kamal and I represent Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Community's mosque named Nusrat Mosque located at 11450 Robinson Drive, Coon Rapids. I wanted to join you all for your first city council meeting, but I was out of town. But I'm here in the middle of January now, or almost the end of January, to convey the same message. As we begin this year, we want to take a moment to express our gratitude for your service to our community over the past year. 2025 brought both challenges and triumph, and it is a testament to our collective resilience. As we enter 2026, those challenges we all have seen have increased. But we hope we can continue to strengthen our community bonds, look out for our neighbors, and foster a spirit of unity. We wish you and your families a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. We look forward to another year of progress. Thank you very much, Mayor Koch, and all the city council members and all those who run the city so smoothly and make it safe for all of us. I also wanted to take a moment to introduce the new missionary for our mosque, Mr. Farhad, who's gonna say a few words.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and respected council members. My name is Farhad Rana. I recently moved to Coon Rapids from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I'm a missionary serving the Nusrat Mosque, which is just down the street. And as Dr. Kamal had just mentioned, we are members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. We are here to serve the greater Coon Rapids area and the greater Minnesota state. And so anything that we could be of service for, we're just down the street, and our motto is love for all, hatred for none. So we're here to serve all peoples of all fields of life and walks of life. And I just wanted to give this opportunity to introduce myself to the community. I just moved in November, and I just got settled in, so I had the opportunity to attend a city council meeting. So I just wanted to introduce myself, and whatever I can do to help this community at large, I'm at your service, I'm at your disposal. So please let me know. And it's nice to be here, it's nice to see your faces, and it's nice to get acquainted with the city of Coon Rapids. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much for coming in.
Hello, I'm Eric Matson, 12373 Eilick Street. I'm here today to encourage the city council to take a stand against ICE terrorizing our community. We've been seeing it happening across the Twin Cities and all over the state. We are seeing increased ICE activity in our own city. People are scared. Businesses that have been contributing and good members of our community for years have been closed and disrupted due to the harassment from ICE. We have people living here from many different nationalities, and they deserve to feel safe and not be too scared to go to work, to school, or seek health care at any of our great providers like Mercy Hospital and many of the other clinics in the city. We are under attack from a corrupt, vengeful, and tyrannical federal government. So I implore you members to send a clear and definite statement telling ICE they are not welcome here, and to have Coon Rapids Police Department defend everyone that calls Coon Rapids home. And I also want to know why we aren't flying the state flag at the City Hall. It's not outside, it's not in here anywhere. I mean, any government building across the state has a state flag, so it's just ridiculous that we don't have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, City Council members. My name is Jake Ender. I live at 10835 Kildare Street Northwest. Sean, I believe you're my neighbor. Hey, neighbor. How's it going? I live down the street from you. I think you drive past me every day. And Mr. Chris Geisler, we've had some good conversations while you were running your campaigns. I appreciate everyone being here. I come to you as an educator in our community, also as someone whose spouse works in the healthcare industry. And similar to the last person who spoke, I come to you asking, what are we going to do to defend our community from ICE? Are we going to reinforce the boundaries between federal enforcement and local law enforcement? What are we going to do? Because we have a wide network of people watching what's happening, and people are scared. We have local businesses shut down because they're not comfortable going out in public. Even more so, we have people that are seeking out financial support because they can't go to work. They're seeking out food shelf services because they're too afraid to go to the grocery store. On top of that, we have confirmed observations where ICE agents are staking out at food shelves because they know that there are people that are picking up food for people who are vulnerable and dropping it off at their house. So this is not acceptable to me, and I'm wondering what you can do as our representatives to protect our communities from this federal overreach that is obviously too much. It violates people's rights systemically as a matter of course, because we see videos all over online. We see it in person, violating people's First Amendments, which includes their right to free speech, their right to record police officers, their right to observe peacefully as long as you're not impeding. You see people violating people's Fourth Amendment rights, which is illegal search and seizure, which is you can't go door to door knocking, looking for a crime. That's one of the things that protects citizens and non-citizens alike. So when we see this happening in our community, we're looking to you for guidance. We're looking to you to protect us. And I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
I'm Jim Shegstad. I live at 2940 119th Lane, Northwest. Council members and mayor, nice to see you guys again. I'm going to echo some of the same things. I've met a lot of people who are in fear. They're scared. I've spoken to a couple of restaurant owners who can't get everybody to show up for work because they're scared that ICE is lingering, and they have in a couple of our locations here. People are watching trackers that show them where ICE is, and they are in our community. They're actually located in areas like they're staying overnight, they're housing very close to us. Regardless of what side of the political spectrum you're from or where you get your information, it's all creating fear, no matter what side, no matter where you're getting your information, if it's independent sources online, if it's Fox News, if it's CNN, wherever you're getting it, it's fearful. And so we're not escaping that. And we've heard from other communities, we've heard from police departments and mayors, and they're making at least statements of support for the community. And I haven't heard that from us, for our community yet. And I think that's something that I'd like to see in the near future. So another problem, which isn't your problem, but it adds to the lack of hearing about anything coming from our leadership, is the Anoka-Hennepin School District has also not said anything. But most other school districts in the metropolitan area have policies and are working hard to try to make things work with students who are scared to go to work, and work with parents who are scared to go to schools, pick up their children, and that type of thing. I asked the city council and the mayor, and maybe the police department leadership, to make a public statement, show support, maybe let people know that you know that fear is out there. I know there isn't a whole lot you can do. I've been in law enforcement much of my life, and I understand the separations between what the feds can do and what we can do in our parts that we play. That's why I'm not choosing a side here. I'm just trying to say that people need to hear from us. We need to hear from the leadership in our community that we're going to be okay, and that Coon Rapids Police Department isn't a part of what's happening, so they can feel comfortable when they go past our police officers or if someone's driving behind them. We need to put to rest as many of the fears they have out there as we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Thomas Hewling, last name Huling, 1015 104th Lane, Coon Rapids, Ward 5. Since December of 2015, over 3,000 ICE agents have been deployed by the federal government to the Twin Cities Metro, outnumbering local police by approximately 5 to 1. The actions of ICE agents have created a climate of fear and caused real, tangible harm. An ICE agent shot U.S. citizen Renee Good 3 times, killing her. ICE agents landed an entire family in the hospital by deploying tear gas under their car. Their youngest child, a baby about the same age as my own daughter, was in critical condition. Recent reporting by the Wall Street Journal reveals that ICE agents get rewarded for the number of arrests made, even arrests that don't result in charges or deportations, even arrests that are unlawful. ICE agents in our community intimidated customers at Han's Bakery this past weekend. They broke down the door to a home in Columbia Heights and detained at least one resident without ever presenting a warrant, also this past weekend. Multiple restaurants in Coon Rapids have either temporarily closed or begun operating drive-through only. The Minnesota National Guard has been mobilized to protect property and peaceful protesters in Minneapolis. The state and the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul have filed a federal lawsuit to stop ICE's rampant abuse of power, and several of our peer cities have issued statements in the name of the city government to reassure residents and can clarify what the role is of local law enforcement in this situation. The city of Coon Rapids has done and said nothing. 2 of the largest employers in Coon Rapids and 2 sources of continuous property development in support of the local tax base are Mercy Hospital and Anoka Ramsey Community College. Hospitals and institutes of higher learning have also both become targets. In the name of immigration enforcement, DHS subpoenaed employee records from Hennepin County Medical Center. 8,000 student visas have been revoked since the start of the current administration 1 year ago. This is not national politics anymore. This is not partisan politics. These issues are here in our neighborhood. With that in mind, I'd like answers to 5 questions. Number 1, is the city aware of federal immigration actions taken within Coon Rapids city limits within the past month? Number 2, what actions is the city taking to monitor or prepare for ICE presence in Coon Rapids? Number 3, what assistance, if any, is Coon Rapids PD providing or planning to provide ICE in terms of information, equipment, or personnel, including any information collected by flock cameras within the city limits? Number 4, what is Coon Rapids Police Department prepared to do to protect peaceful protesters in Coon Rapids? And number 5, under what circumstances in the future would the city either join the lawsuit filed by the state, Minneapolis, and St. Paul, or file a similar suit? Thank you.
Hi, council members and staff. I am not originally from here. I'm originally from New England, as you may notice from, but I am Timberwolves fan. But one thing that I loved about this community, about Minnesota, is how much we care about each other. I've lived in many places. My husband was in the Navy, was in the Navy, and I've never experienced the community that we have here. During all of these times of chaos, I've been able to put together some mutual aid, and I want to tell you that there are hundreds of children missing school right now. Because not necessarily because they're even here illegally, but because ICE is taking people indiscriminately. They are not even always speaking to them. They're just taking them. So families are unable to even leave their homes, and that leaves them unable to pay rent. That leaves them unable to get food. And my daughter is coming home from school and telling me that her friend did come back today after she missed all last week, but she said that there were ICE agents on her road all week, so she wasn't able to go to school. But what has brought me some faith in humanity is the amount of donations that we've gotten. We have had endless donations from the loving people of this community, and we've been able to serve many schools. It has just, in a time when it feels like there is no humanity, when I saw a man unconscious, handcuffed, and dragged in our local area, it has given me some faith in humanity to know how many people are coming out to help the people that are in need. I have 2 questions, and one of them is about the flock system, which I am just learning about now. And it is, does ICE have access to that system? Coon Rapids is a hub for people to come shopping. And if they do have access, I think that they need to know the risk they're taking when they come here, and that our businesses may not be safe for everybody to come. We have had local businesses close not only because of fear, but because literally they are being taken. There aren't enough staff to keep them open. The other thing is, again, about the schools, the school district hasn't put anything out that is adequate guidance for anybody. Some schools have gotten no extra training, just an email.
Could you please ask your other question? Our 3 minutes are up.
Okay,
You have
my
one
last
more question
question
you said.
is about bus stops and making sure that kids and parents are safe at bus stops. And I want to know how the city is doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Thank
Hi, good evening. My name is Ange Nelson. I'm not going to give my address, but I can to the clerk if that's appropriate. Ange Nelson, I'm a lifelong resident of Coon Rapids, and I'm here tonight because our community is in the grip of suffocating fear, and that fear has been met with deafening silence from the City Council. For weeks now, we've watched ICE attack Minnesota use unmarked vehicles to camp out, intimidate, and cause harm across our own community, and we've seen the chaos and devastation it's bringing. While our neighbors are terrified, the council has not issued a single statement acknowledging the impact of the federal surge and really representing the people that elected you. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, just under 10% of Coon Rapids residents are foreign-born. Approximately 96.4% of our residents are U.S. citizens, and the vast majority of the 3.6 that are non-residents are permanent residents, international students, and people here on work visas. I think we can all agree that if someone is violent or causing real harm, they should be held accountable, regardless of immigration status. But that's actually not what's happening here. These federal actions are not making our community safer. They're doing the opposite, and the situation has become dire and unsustainable to take on every day. ICE is destabilizing our neighborhoods, spreading fear, and making it harder to keep people safe. Just today, we heard that local police officers charged with protecting our community are having their work disrupted by the federal government, and they too are being profiled when they're off duty, and that's not public safety. Our immigrant neighbors are not a threat. They are the people who care for our seniors, build our homes, staff small businesses, and contribute to our city's tax base. When federal agents camp out in front of stores, schools, and places of worship, they're not looking for individuals. They're sending a message that Coon Rapids is no longer safe for some of our neighbors to exist. As a result, we're seeing a self-imposed lockdown. Families are too scared to leave their home, trying to avoid ICE, and when nearly 1 in 10 residents are too afraid to leave to buy milk or a cup of coffee, our entire community suffers. Coon Rapids cannot afford to lose another business. We already have a growing list of empty buildings and storefronts, which are issues the council has repeatedly delayed addressing. Every time a local shop is forced to close because its customers are too terrified to walk through the doors, we just add to that hollow, shallow landscape. When city leadership stays silent, it sends a clear message to our businesses and to our community, and it's that they're on their own. So I'm not asking you to rewrite federal law, but I am asking you to acknowledge the reality of what's happening on our streets. We need a formal statement recognizing the fear and harm that's being caused by the federal government and the ripple effects that we're seeing across Coon Rapids. A plan to strengthen real public safety and build back some of the trust with our local government and our local police officers. A commitment to supporting small business owners who are losing revenue due to the climate of intimidation. And a plan to address the empty buildings that continues to weaken our tax base before this surge continues to create even more vacancies. Ignoring this will not make fear go away. It will only make us less safe and ensure that empty storefronts become permanent and will further erode trust in our city's leadership. Our neighbors deserve to know their city cares about them and their safety and survival. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, my name is Becky Fink. I'll give my address to the clerk as well. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Our communities, our police, our city councils, in our immediate communities have issued statements making clear, can we or can we not count on the council and the police to keep us safe in our own town? What are you thinking? Do you know where we are at? Do you know how many businesses are closed in Coon Rapids? Because if you don't, I do. And I'd like you to provide sometime this week a list of the businesses that you are aware of that are closed, Mr. Mayor, and the rest of the council, please. I'd like a list so we can support them. And if you don't know, get busy. What were you thinking today when ICE were grabbing doors in the city of Coon Rapids? And I want the people in this room to know that you are safer because people like me are trained to know when there are ICE agents in our town. I know where they were and I knew when they were. And you know what? People in this room today, we called them and said, lock your doors. This is not political for us. I saw a council member today, or this week, do a post on Facebook about his memory or his experience going down memory lane in Coon Rapids. Well, good for you. My word. How tone deaf. My word. I'm upset because I've been following this for days in my town. Have you? Do you know? I do. So I'm here to ask you, what were you thinking that we had to be here tonight? It's time. For those of you who have lived with this silence, it's deafening to us. We're done. You are going to need to separate yourself from this regime publicly. Every one of you. Every one of you. I mean it.
Your time is up. Your time is up.
I
Next.
mean it.
Next.
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Fink.
pardon me.
Pardon me, your 3 minutes are up. You're done.
There's a lot of people whose time's up.
Keep moving.
Mayor Cook and council members, my name is Betsy, and I'll give the full information to the city clerk. I'm a 39-year resident of Coon Rapids. My questions. What is the Coon Rapids policy regarding cooperation with ICE? What should citizens do if they observe masked individuals breaking into homes, pulling people out of cars, armed individuals entering a place of worship? I'd like answers to all of these questions. I am horrified by what ICE is doing to all of our people, no matter what their status is, just in order to meet their quotas and bonus for even the arresting of anyone for no reason. There are many acts of horrific violence that ICE has committed in the name of finding illegal criminals. In Minnesota, our state is not even in the top 20 for the number of immigrants. Obviously, it is not the reason ICE is here. An ICE officer committed murder, shooting Renee Nicole Good in her car January 7th 3 times. These are all of my concerns as an American citizen, but it gets personal for me. My friend's daughter is a special needs school bus driver in our area. ICE is trailing her bus, following her around, stopping her bus to inspect who the children on the bus are. She is afraid for the children and their families and herself every day just doing her job. Last week, I was out of town. My daughter works at a coffee shop, and she calls me hysterically, asking what she should do. ICE is coming to her coffee shop. She is panicking, asking me who our family lawyer is. Our daughter is a naturalized citizen at age 9 months. It does not matter to ICE, bounty hunters, getting a bonus for her arrest. This is totally unacceptable, unconstitutional, and immoral. Not just for her, but for any human being. As her mom and her parent, it was a gut-wrenching experience, her fear in that moment. And I hope none of you have to experience the same. I would imagine it's similar to the call a parent gets when their kid is at school with a school shooter. I respectfully request the City of Coon Rapids City Council make a dedicated statement against ICE and their operations that include measures to abolish ICE from Minnesota. Thank you.
Mayor and City Council, my name is Tom, and I'll give my address to the City Clerk. What's happening in our community and in our state is a page taken out of the 1930s playbook by Adolf Hitler. Masked and government agents terrorizing citizens by making unlawful stops, breaking down doors, making unlawful arrests, and going so far as murdering Renee Good, an innocent bystander, has to stop. These actions by ICE and the Border Patrol are trying to dehumanize portions of our population that are citizens and legal immigrants of color. These same people contribute by paying taxes and enrich our society with their different cultures. They just want to raise their families and live a full life like the rest of us. And remember, we all came from immigrant families. Many of our families have ancestors who fought and died in World War II to stop the spread of fascism from taking over. I've had the opportunity to visit cemeteries in Europe that are full of U.S. soldiers that died to make that ultimate sacrifice. My father, at age 17, joined the Navy to fight for freedom and to make sure fascism was stopped. Many of us in this room tonight have a similar story. We as citizens have a duty to stand up and say no to this attack on our values and Constitution. Therefore, I'm asking the City of Coon Rapids to make a statement condemning these actions by federal agents and demand that they leave our community and state. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kat Gallagher. I've been a resident of Coon Rapids since 2002. I live in Burl Oaks, and I'll give my direct address to the clerk. I'm married with 2 grown children, and I was born and raised in Bloomington in a multicultural middle-class family. My dad was a Scandinavian Minnesotan, and my mom was a Japanese woman who later became an American citizen. I'm a retired advertising executive and a volunteer for over a dozen different organizations, including Bridge with the Coon Rapids Police Department, and several Japanese American organizations, including the Japan America Society of Minnesota, of which I'm president. My statements tonight are about people, not politics. And I think we can all agree that getting dangerous criminals off the streets and keeping Coon Rapids safe is a priority for everyone. However, there is collateral damage from the very public actions of ICE and DHS that are affecting people like me. I've never been arrested. I've never had any trouble with the law. So one would think I would have nothing to worry about. Yet I feel compelled to carry a copy of my passport with me to prove my citizenship in the United States of America. I feel vulnerable simply because of how I look. I have no doubt you all care deeply about both our residents and law enforcement as I do. I know these officers, and they're in a very tough position because they are not ICE, but people think they are, and that puts them in a very precarious situation. Joining cities like Hopkins, Bloomington, Stillwater, Anoka, Edina, Minnetonka, Shoreview, Brooklyn Park, in making a simple statement about the role of law enforcement versus that of immigration control would show that you support everyone in our community and would embody Coon Rapids' motto of community strength for generations. At the same time, maybe this would take a little heat off the police department without undermining the role of ICE or DHS. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rain Geisler, and I'll give my address to the clerk. I just have a simple question. I'm a college student, I'm 18 years old, and I have friends who are terrified on campus. I have friends at Anoka, like all of the high schools around this area. I have friends in Coon Rapids, and I have friends that go to Anoka Ramsey that are scared to go to school because they don't know if they're gonna be picked up randomly trying to go to class or when they're driving to school. They don't know if their car is gonna be one of those on the side of the road. What are we doing about it? What are you doing to make us feel safe so that not only do the older residents, so that our students feel safe, so that the high schoolers don't think that they might be pulled from their parents? Because as someone who is younger, the most terrifying thing is being taken from my family. and not knowing if I might go home. And I have friends that think that every single day that they are going to school now that ICE is in Coon Rapids. I have friends that are getting truancy letters now because they haven't gone back to school yet, because their parents aren't letting them because they might not come back. What are we doing? And why hasn't anything been done? Why haven't we publicly said anything against ICE taking students, not even just high schoolers, middle schoolers and elementary schoolers that are scared, parents that are scared that their second grade kid is being stalked on the bus, that they are being searched, a kid who is not even 10 years old, who doesn't know anything, who doesn't know what's going on. Why aren't we doing anything to make sure that they and their parents are safe, that their doors aren't being knocked on, that they aren't being investigated without a warrant, that they are just being taken from their families? Thank you.
Hello, neighbors. My name is Lucero. I'm a indigenous Niusavi Mexican American. I am just here today to give more of an anecdotal story because this is a people problem. This is not a political problem. Me and my partner recently moved here in August. Well, we bought the house in August. We previously have lived in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Rochester, and our hometown, which is a small farming town in southeast Minnesota. So we are small town people. That's why we chose Coon Rapids as our settling spot, because it has a beautiful balance of being in the city while also having that small town community feel. As I'm looking into the audience, I see my direct neighbors. I know that while my safety is at risk, the people in this room have my back. Yeah, you do. We have each other. That's not something that I had in my hometown, and that is because of the city culture that was set. And so I'm here to ask the city of St. Paul to please put out a statement showing Coon Rapids that you are with us, you are with the people, you are with the community. When going back to my hometown, I'm often asked when I say that I live in the cities, do you feel safe there? Because the common opinion is that it's unsafe. And my response has always been, I feel safer up there than I do feel here because of the hate crime that I was constantly met with. And I'm often asking myself that now, do I feel safe here? With my neighbors, I do. Today, an ICE agent camped outside my house. If you would have called me at around noon, you would have found me hysterically crying. I was born in the same hospital, not that it matters. I was born in the same hospital as my Norwegian Scandinavian partner right there in Rochester, Minnesota. So there is no reason other than being a proud Mexican that a ICE agent is outside my house camping there. So I am asking you to say something, because when I ask myself, am I safe here? Who has my back? Who is showing up for me? I know that it's my neighbors, and I need to know that it's also the city of Coon Rapids. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Megan Haugen, and I live on 1410 100th Avenue, Northwest in Coon Rapids. I just have to say, the fact that you guys have not put out a statement just tells all of us that you guys are compliant with what ICE is doing. And that is very disheartening for people who see people get kidnapped literally off the street just for the color of their skin. It's absolutely disgusting and deplorable that our current administration is doing that to people. If it was just about fraud, if it was just about getting criminals off the street, they would be going after those criminals, not just random people out of nowhere. People wouldn't be afraid to leave their homes, free to have their businesses open. So I really implore you guys to make a statement and tell us where you guys stand on that. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brett Ortler. I live at 11414 Zavis Street in Coon Rapids. So I grew up here. I went to middle school here, went to high school up in St. Francis, but I've lived back here for the last 9 years, whatever. So I grew up here, and as a kid, I was super religious. Now, I know this is a secular setting, so I'll spare you any religious proselytizing. But many of the ethical lessons of, I was Catholic at the time, stuck with me, but especially this one, love your neighbor. Now, love your neighbor means love all of your neighbors. It doesn't mean just the ones who look like me, okay? Right now, a lot of our neighbors are in trouble, especially the ones who don't look like me. They're afraid to go to school. They're afraid to go to work. Their restaurants or businesses are closed. That is happening throughout the city. I have met some of these folks. I've talked to them. I'm here for them because they can't be here for fear of being abducted by an SUV with tinted windows and a bunch of guys in masks. That's literally happening in Coon Rapids right now. Now, I understand this is a national issue, and this is a local setting, so I want to be as local and specific as I can. One thing that's really distressing to me right now is I have kids in Coon Rapids Middle School, and I have a kid at Morris By. Drop-off has become terrifying, and pickup has become terrifying, because we're on the lookout for black SUVs with out-of-state plates, because we're worried our kids' classmates, mom or dad, or the kid themselves, or whomever, or anyone who doesn't look like me, might get thrown in the back of a truck or back of an SUV. That's happening right now. Minneapolis and St. Paul have closed their schools. That's incredible, right? We agree that, I think, that that's insanity. So what I'd like to know is, is it possible for the police or the department to have some sort of more patrols for the drop-off and pickup sites, if that comes to that? I know it's a federal state thing. I know it's complicated, and I know it's not simple, but it shouldn't be soccer moms and grandmas holding the line at pickup and drop-off. And right now, that's literally happening. And I also, the other thing is, we have First Amendment rights. We have Fourth Amendment rights. Those rights are being trampled for people who look like me, but especially for people who don't look like me. People are getting pulled over by the feds and saying, you're impeding, when they're just following them at a great distance. That's legal, right? The governor says that's legal. The AG says that's legal. So will the police department here be willing to back us up in our civil rights and exercising our civil rights, and also the civil rights of those who are being stopped, who are being profiled? Last thing I'll leave you with, I have 2 seconds, I'm sure. I met the people at Hans Bakery. After Hans Bakery, it's in Anoka, of course, so it's not here. I met the couple that had been harassed by 4 different SUVs. They were in tears. They were here legally, they were citizens. And I said, what did they say? Well, he said straight to me, they just profiled us. That's all they did. Now, that's happening right now, so it's time for good trouble. And good trouble means John Lewis style. All right. Thank you.
My name is Judith Fido. My husband and I have lived here on 12179 Lily Street, Coon Rapids, for 34 years and 39 years totally. We are concerned, and I have a handout to share with you guys. If I can leave with them, but I did bring a handout because I have 5 points I want to share with you that I think will be helpful in developing a statement, putting out the answers to these kinds of questions that will put people at ease and advise them. So we'd like to know what the city's policies are regarding the following. Number 1, what is the city's policy regarding cooperation with federal law enforcement? Number 2, what should citizens do if they observe armed individuals walking around their community? What should citizens do if they observe masked individuals breaking into homes? What should citizens do if they observe masked individuals pulling people from cars? What should citizens do if armed masked men enter their places of worship? So I will leave this with you in hopes of putting out a statement that can assure us about what's happening. And just one incident that I was so alarmed by happened last Thursday. And it was that a recent illegal action taken by ICE agents who last Thursday stopped and detained an Hispanic couple on their way to Unity's ER in Fridley. for the wife's back pain. They were going there for that. Within 20 hours, the husband was shipped to Texas without his diabetes medicine. ICE then took the wife, before that, 20 hours, took the wife to Unity. And after she had an MRI, the ICE did not allow her to go home, but imprisoned her in a second-floor hospital room guarded by ICE agents and nursing staff. After this, there are a couple of days, after this, her children, her pastor, and her attorney were not allowed to see her and were repeatedly told by hospital staff there was no one here by her name. This is in MinPost, it's documented. So it was clearly a lie, and it's so close to home. So I beg you to take a stand and put out a statement about what we should do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Sorry, I'm nearsighted. Hello, my name's Deconti, and I'm a resident of Coon Rapids, and I'll give my information to the clerk later. Thank you for having us here, Mr. Mayor and the rest of our council members. I am a 25-year resident of this city of Coon Rapids, which I love so much. I have 3 daughters, all born and raised here in Coon Rapids. They're school ages. Hold on, sorry. I have a lot of notes. I'm here today because I'm actually disappointed by the lack of support our city have shown for all of Coon Rapids residents living in fear due to excessive presence of ICE in our state, in our city. I say that they're after undocumented people who are violent criminals, but the truth is that all it takes to be stopped by ICE and harassed, beaten, and ripped away from your families is to not be white. And last I checked, a white woman was shot and killed by ICE just 2 weeks ago, so none of us are safe. My 72-year-old mother is afraid to leave the house, including going to her doctor's appointment right here at Health Partners Clinic. I'm having to drive her to her appointments and everywhere else. My 12-year-old daughter, who attends Coon Rapids Middle School, is afraid to walk home from school from the bus stop, afraid that she may be taken away. I'm afraid of being stopped by ICE while traveling with my 16-year-old daughter who lives with autism and is nonverbal and is easily frightened. I'm afraid of the harm that could be done to me and her and the effect it could have on her if we're pulled over and our dignities are stripped, regardless of the fact that we're U.S. citizens. No one should have to go through this, regardless of your status. As long as ICE is behaving lawlessly, none of us are safe. So I'm here to ask our city leaders, Mr. Mayor and council members, to please stand with your community and stand with us, putting out a statement supporting your community and asking ICE to behave within the law. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Schaff. You've been watching me sit back there this whole time. I live at 11414 Xavier Street along with Brett. I just have something very brief. Today I was in Anoka doing what Governor Walz said. Watching ICE and recording them. And I got boxed in by 2 cars. All 7 agents came out. They wagged their fingers at me. They told me, you can't be here. This is your last warning. And this is what I want to know. If I would have called the police, would they have helped me or would they have helped them? That's what I want you to answer.
Mr. Mayor, City Council. By now, we have seen ICE prowling our city and state, coating our neighborhoods in existential dread. We have seen videos of them taking anyone and everyone they like, assaulting not only their targets, but anyone they want to. They steal and destroy people and families. Thanks to reporting by our brave citizens here, we know that they camp out all over our city, frequently at even like Target. Today, there was a report that on Magnolia Street, around 7 ICE agents began confronting one of our own neighbors in the street as students were being dropped off from the bus. Thankfully, our neighbors stood up, got on their horns, got on their whistles, confronted the ghouls until they left. What if our people had not been there? Who was going to protect our members? We might be losing one or more. We just even had the Brooklyn Park police chief say that his officers are getting profiled and interrogated. The fear is palpable. My fiance's last name is Rodriguez, and last week, after one of her patients was taken away, she said how thankful she was that our daughter doesn't have her last name. How will the city council work with those police departments, or our police department, to keep those living and even traveling through our city safe from unaccountable invasion of secret police? What ordinances or resolutions will you guys pass? What are you drafting? What statements will you release? Are you going to trespass agents, arrest agents, refuse to share information with agents? Make this a sanctuary city. I'm told all the time our police force and city council are community oriented. Let's prove it by being courageous and stand up to these goons. Let's get this in writing and then enforce it and prove that Coon Rapids is for everyone.
So can we get your name? Can we get your name?
Can I say my name?
I missed, did you give your name at the beginning? I missed
Sorry
that.
if I did. Zachary Andrea, 834 113th Avenue Northwest.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, is anybody else here to address council for open mic this evening? All right, with that, we will close the open mic portion of the meeting. I have one report from last meeting. Get back on here again. This was, a citizen appeared before council and indicated he would not provide his name or address. He then noted that he requested documents from the city in September of 2025 and that he had yet to receive a response. At open mic, he submitted the citizen submitted a request for data to the city clerk's office on September 26, 2025. A substantial amount of data was requested, too much to be able to attach to an email, so staff utilized the city's secure file share site to upload the documents and sent a link to the citizen at the email he provided. The email providing the link to the data requested was sent on October 3rd, 2025, and the email was delivered successfully, and staff did not receive a bounce back notice indicating an issue with the email. Staff believed the matter to be completed until the requester appeared at the January 6th, 2026 City Council meeting. Immediately following the City Council meeting, staff spoke with the citizen and explained that the data had been provided to the email he provided on his request, and at that point in time, the citizen indicated he was using a different email and meant to give staff this other email and requested that staff email the documents to him at the newly provided email. On January 9th, after regathering the data, staff emailed the link to download the files to the citizen at the newly provided email. Staff did not receive a bounce back notice indicating an issue with the email and believed the matter to be finalized. On January 12th, 2026, the citizen appeared at the city clerk's office and indicated that he had not yet received the requested data. Staff informed him and showed proof by printout of the email that staff had sent him the information at the email he provided at the January 6th, 2026 City Council meeting. The citizen indicated that he wanted staff to send the data to a different email, not the email he provided at the City Council meeting. He then provided, you can't make this up. He then provided a Gmail email address to staff. Staff resent the secure file link with the documents requested to this third email as requested, and the data has now been downloaded by the requester as verified by the software We have no further action at this time on that item, but I just had to read that whole response. And that we are to other business.
Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Councilmember Geisler.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, obviously, we have a full house. Thank you, everyone, for your comments, and I appreciate them. I take them very deeply into heart. You know, there's 7 of us up here. One's absent today, but there are 7 of us here and a whole city staff to work with, so please give us a minute. But I appreciate everyone taking the time and with your thoughtful commentary and bringing it to us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Other business.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Butler.
I also just want to say thank you, and, you know, after the meeting, I'm happy to stick around and talk with folks who have a little bit of time. Thank you for being patient through this meeting.
Okay. Would you, anything else?
To you, Mayor, Council.
All right.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Armstrong?
Yeah, I was glad that you read that whole dissertation with the individual with the email. I won't name the city staff member, but I sat there and watched them deal with this individual with grace and professionalism, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, boy, I don't know if I could put up with all of this. But they were, again, very professional. I applaud them for the work that they did, how they treated that individual, and I'm glad they finally got their documentation that they needed. Kudos to staff.
All right. Okay, well, we have Snowflake Days coming up at the end of the month. Make sure you check out Coon Rapids snowflakedays.org or com, I don't remember. One of those, type it into the internet search engine and you'll get it. All right.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Geisler?
One other item of note is to remind folks that we have, our next council meeting is on a Monday due to caucuses for February 2nd.
Oh, yeah.
So just as a reminder, normally scheduled programming is a day early, just so that folks are aware of that.
All right. Okay, we good?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion by Armstrong, second by Novak to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.